Krishna Leela Katane Sudaksham Audārya Madhurya Gunaisya Yuktam Varam Varenyam Purusham Mahantam Narayanam Tam Sirasa Namami Hridandinam Bhakta Shiromanim Cha Sri Krishna Padabhya Udaikam Chaitanya Leela Amrita Sara Saram Narayanam Tam Satatam Prapandye Namami Narayana Pada Pankajam Karomi Narayana Pujanam Sada Vadami Narayana Nama Nirmala Marami Narayana Tattvam Avyayam Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Let me offer millions of us and the God of the Rupan, Guru, Nam, Dandava. The all present past future Vaishnavas, Tavas, and all Pranam. Vancha kalpataro vescha kripa sindhu evacha patita nam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Today is the Thursday, question and answer, right? Um, 10th. So 2 days before we had a Kamada Ekadasi. Then 12th April is Purnima. Saturday. Sri Krishna's Vasanta Ras, Baladev's Rasa Yatra, Vrindavan Das Thakur, Shyamananda Prabhu's Kenande. Then 14th, the Keshavrata began, putting water drops onto the Tulsi. Then 30th April is Akshaya Tritiya. Then Narasimha Chaturdasi, 11th May. Actually, we should study Narasimha Tattva. Then 11th June is Jagannath Snana Yatra. 27th June Rath Yatra. 5th July Punar Yatra. 10th July is Guru Purnima. And 9th August is Baladev's appearance day. 16th August is Janmashtami. Then 31st August is Radhashtami. So, regarding our question and answer, before we begin, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam 11th canto, 23rd chapter. 23rd chapter. 1. Titikshu Tridandi Bhikshu Ityasa. Yeah, history. History of Tridandu Bhikshu. The reason Lord Krishna is narrating this to Uddhava. In the 22nd chapter, Uddhava is asking, Oh Lord Krishna, It is very difficult to cross over the nature of living entities. You know, each one has different nature. So that's why only those who have taken shelter at your lotus feet, very peaceful devotees, other than peaceful devotees who have taken shelter at your lotus feet, what is difficult even for the well-learned pandits, that, you know, tiraskara, offenses and rejection huh, by the bad people. So many bad people call bad names. Oh, you're fit for nothing. This, that. It's part of the, we come across. Now, he's saying is even it is very difficult to tolerate, huh? And then it is impossible. So, Aisa is telling, Jai Jai, Gaura Arti ki Jai. Srila Gurudev ki Jai, Gaura Boliya, Gaura Biyane, Navanti Parane, Gaura Kare. Gaura, 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 Gaura Rigo, Gaura. Jai Jai ki Jai. Oh. So Uddhava is telling Krishna, please. He's telling it is very difficult to tolerate, and then, and it's almost impossible, it seems like. Other than very peaceful devotees, we have taken shelter at you to tolerate the rejection, bad words, criticizing, all that by the bad people. Huh? So this is how I think. So for that, Lord Krishna is telling this is one of the difficult part of the devotee's life. You know, devotee's life, like Trunada Pisuni Chena, you know, we are saying, but practicality is something. So how we should become strong in toleration. So for this, Krishna is narrating a history. This is very powerful pastime, very important for a sadhana bhakta. You know, to progress in bhakti, this is very, very important. That's why I'm going to. Krishna is telling long time back in the Avanti Nagar, that one Brahmana was living. He had all facilities. He had land, he was business, and he was always busy in his work, uh, agriculture and other things. But he was very angry, and then he's such a nature that he was giving trouble to his own family, wife, children, stuff. And he was a kami lobi. He was a kind of bad nature. Huh? Uh, Never satisfied with how much money is. So what happened was He never used any sweet words with his family people or with guests. He did not welcome them properly. Actually, uh, he was not following any religious principles. Uh, and even his own body, he was not taking care. Uh, Not only his children, wife. Like that. So, because of this attitude, his children and wife, they were not in a good mood with him. They were not liking him, rather hating him. Then his servants also. Now there is something called Pancha Yajna Bhagi Devata. Pancha Yajna. Five kind of sacrifice, for other the demigods, sages, the forefathers, other human, and then the other birds, animals like that. Five, right? Demigods, sages, then Pitrus, forefathers, then present living entity, human society, and then other living entities, maybe dog, cat, cows, birds, rats, these are all snakes, they're all included in that. So they all have their share. When Lord gives a crop, for example, each of these people have share. We should not come in the way of them. One has to do this Deva Puja, Rishi Deva, Shraddha, Atiti, welcoming the guests, and then for ordinary animals, you know, to satisfy them, giving food and all that, that it grow. Because Krishna is giving for all of these people. His share has to be given. So if you don't, he was not doing that, everything. Then what happened? They all become angry and gradually he lost everything. Um, all his wealth was destroyed. But then his relatives left him and all that. He lost whatever being stolen, theft, everything. Um, then what happened? Uh, for past some good deed, many lives good deed, he attained like renunciation. Because when he lost everything, family is gone, wealth is gone, land is gone, house is gone, no one is respecting him. Then some good security. Ah, so that time he is telling, oh, I collected with so much difficulty all these things. And but I did not use it for religious purposes properly. Also, I did not also enjoy this. I also put my body also in difficulty. and I gave lot of difficulty, suffering to my children and wife. I was miser. Huh? So then you have to go to hell with this thing. So then he's thinking, um, is is repenting, huh? um, and he's telling these 15 unwanted things are there in the human, because of the like this wealth, money, what stealing, violence, and using bad words, feeling, false ego, then anger, then so many worries, uh, differentiation, enviousness, not having faith, not believing, not having, then competition, uh, like that, playing this betting and all that, drinking liquor, all these things. They all happen because of the wealth, the human. So that's why he's thinking the so-called artha, so-called wealth, what appears like a wealth actually is unwanted anartha, bad quality, bad thing comes up with that. So it's better to give up. So thinking like that, he says, uh, Lord must have been pleased with me. That's why he took away all of these things. Uh, the renunciation is like a boat to cross over this samsara, ocean of samsara. So he understood. So, and then he was going around, gave up everything. He accepted the Tridandi. Then he was going for bhiksha, alms, begging alms. So some people used to take away his danda, his, this vessel of putting things for his bhiksha, take away, then hitting him, using bad words. When he was ready to accept some food, people used to come put urine into the thing. Bah, he was treated so thing. But still, he never complained. He was so, and he was thinking, all these suffering that I have to go through is sent by the Lord, and I should tolerate it. I have to go through. So Like that, then he was singing, he was thinking, meditating, this is what. This is the most important part of this pastime. So Brahmana is telling, I'm suffering this happiness and distress. What is the cause of this happiness and distress? He's saying human beings, demigods, is Atma, these planetary planets, or is karma, or the time factor. These are not the source of happiness uh, or suffering, happiness or unhappiness. These six are not the cause of the happiness or unhappiness for him. What is that? Other human beings, demigods, other human beings are not cause of my happiness or distress. Devatas are not the cause of my suffering, or my own Atma, soul, or the planetary system, or is karma, or the time factor. Very amazing. He understood, realized. Lord Krishna is telling these six are not the cause of his suffering or enjoyment. Now, what else is the source? The Shastras and the learned people say through which the samsara chakra, the wheel of samsara, is being driven. That mind is one and only cause of my happiness or distress. My mind is the cause of my happiness and distress. It is not other human beings. It is not demigods. It is not my Atma or the planetary systems or my karma or the time. My mind. Because through which samsara chakra is getting driven. And through only mind, one can see and listen. We might think that through ear I'm hearing. That is not true. Or we are hearing through mind. How? Suppose you are talking with somebody, they are telling something to you, but your mind is focused on something else. You know, do you remember what they told you? We say, what did he say? Because we are not focused. Our mind is not focused. Mind was somewhere else, some other topic. Even though we listened, but we don't remember. That means what? We are not listening through the ear, through the mind. Huh? Of course, ear is the instrument, but ear itself is not hearing. It's the mind is hearing. Same way, seeing. If you are watching TV or computer, and if your mind is not focused, what do you see? Nothing. Things are going by, you don't remember. Huh? So, only through mind, the living entity sees or hears. And then the nature of the mind is bhoga buddhi rupa, enjoying tendency. Bhoga buddhi rupa. The form of mind is bhoga buddhi, always enjoying. Okay. And this is uh, the form of mind. The form of mind is enjoying tendency, and also it is nature or its quality is all inauspiciousness. Ah, Shastra is telling. Bhagavatam. Mind is the house of all inauspicious. So the realize people tell like that. Mind is the भोगबुद्धि रूप या मन ही समस्त अमंगल का आकार form of all the inauspicious bhogabuddhi. Now this mind is not very powerful. This very powerful mind, how it operates. He's telling the living entities in the consciousness of the living entities, it will create this modes of material nature, and through those qualities, goodness, passion, and ignorance, so many ensemble of karma gets took birth, take birth. And through this karma, we we become sometimes demigod, sometimes human, sometimes other living entities, you know. And these manodharmi Vyakti, and the person who is dominated by this mind, you know, and he will become illusioned about his Atma, transcendental nature of the Atma. And the living entity is controller and the friend, very ancient friend. Living entity's ancient friend is who? Paramatma. He is filled with all knowledge. Even though he is with mind, residing with the mind, near the mind, but he will not act on it. He will not do any kriya, activity, but he will see like a witness. He is witnessing everything. So, uh, and he is witnessing, even though he is our friend. Why? Because this is a big question. He will not meddle with our minute independent. No. Paramatma will not interfere. Yeah, identifying yourself, even though your spirit soul with your mind as mine. Huh? So, and because you are becoming entangled, uh, you are thinking, you are the enjoyer of all those activities of the mind. Then, by enjoying all those, you are getting stuck in this samsara. So, because of the mind's illusion, the living entity is in samsara. So, Lord is telling for the conditioned soul is we striving for the dharma, artha, kama, moksha, religiosity, kama, sense gratification, artha, dharma, then getting money, collecting money, economic development, and uh, artha, dharma, kama, moksha. Then these are all actually Bhranti, illusion. So by the influence of bhakti, we can, this illusion can be overcome. or can be talked about. So only in the practice of bhakti, the sukshma deha, the subtle body, that is the mind, linga sharira, we can overcome. That is what is vastu siddhi, prak bhava. Otherwise, till then we are entangled with this mind, till vastu siddhi. So now further is telling, suppose if you say, is elaborating, how other living entities, other human beings are cause of my suffering and happiness. Uh, if they are really cause, then Atma, the soul, is not doer or doing activities for suffering or enjoyment. The Atma doesn't have any connection with the uh, Sukha or Dukkha, right? Happiness or distress. We saw that. Remember 8 qualities of Atma. It is free from avidya, right? Ignorance. It has no birth. It cannot suffer. It has no death. Uh, it has no desire to sense gratification. It has a natural love for the Lord. So these qualities. That's why it is this Atma has nothing to do with uh, this happiness or distress. But this vikara yukta, this transformed, the gross and subtle body, thinking that I'm the doer, or so uh, it is not with the Atma. Atma is not the doer. Then how you can blame others? He's giving an example. See, the Atma is there, pure, right? But we are stuck with the mind. Suppose our tongue gets bitten by the by the teeth. Whom we are going to blame? Our own teeth bitten the tongue. We get pain. And suppose if you eat your oh, I will hit you. The teeth, what happens? You will suffer more, is it not? You can tolerate pain of the tongue, but pain of the tooth is very, very severe. So, uh, like that, the other living entities, are not the cause. Um, now, so they cannot be cause of mind. Like the Krishna is keep telling in Tattenu Kampasu Sikshaman, many places. What we have given is coming back to us. And they are there, human beings. That's why, see, while chanting, don't show your finger, never criticize, never complain, never stop chanting. 3, facing towards me. If I find fault in me, 3 fingers towards me. And it says, Lord. my arrangement, I'm sending you back, what you have given in the mode of goodness, passion. So, so that's why I don't find fault. Same way, others are not cause of my suffering or enjoyment. Then, if we think that the demigods are cause of my suffering and happiness, uh, even then they cannot be held for that, because they are Adhishtatri Devata. They are presiding deities of our senses. Huh? If they are the doer, then also they have to do the activities, karma. So if they are cause of suffering, then they have to suffer it, because they are the Adhishtatri Devatas of the Indriyas. So how there can be fault in the Atma? So giving example, suppose the hand is there, hit another, same hand, like this. Now whom I am going to complain? So we cannot become angry with one hand. So if the soul is the cause of this happiness and distress, uh, and we know, the Atma is not cause of it, because it is not never connected with it. Um, so becoming angry uh, on the Atma, so it is not proper. Now, if the planets like Surya, right, Sun, and in India the famous is Shani, right, the Saturn, fear of Saturn. Oh, I have this influence of Saturn for 7.5 years, 5 years, like that they talk. So, but actually they are not the cause of it. They will act only when something takes birth. Understand? Because Janma Kundali, you remember, at the time of birth, this so many stars this way, this way, this way, this way. And they develop a Kundali, Janma Kundali. Huh? So from that they tell, oh, so much happiness, distress, and all that. But for the Atma, because there is no birth, what Kundali can have, chart for the Atma. That's why when we take Diksha, our chart changes, our Gotra, it changes. We become Achyuta Gotra. Remember? Achyuta Gotra meaning one cannot fall down. Achyuta. Achyuta is falling down. Achyuta is never. So, Achyuta Gotra, the planetary cannot do any influence. Cannot do any influence on this Gotra. Other Gotras they will do, but not for Achyuta. Once you become Achyuta Gotra, there is no influence. Because we are on the platform of Atma. Huh? So that's why how the planetary systems you can blame on it. Actually, it's funny. If you go to in South India, the place of Nava, uh, Nor Nursing Devs, 9 pastime, is there. Um, the place is Kadri Nursing Ahobala. Ahobala. There's a place in South India, Ahobala. Aho! When Lord Nrsimhadev appeared from the pillar to protect Prahlad from Hiranyakashipu, and the sound came, broke. That pillar is still there, broken pillar place. And Devatas called him, Aho, so powerful. So there are 9 manifestations of Nrsimhadev, self-manifest deities. In those deities, all this, the sun, moon, Saturn, Rahu, all those 9 planets are there. Each Narasimha temple, they are praying for what? For their own protection. See, the planets are for their own protection. They are praying to Lord Narasimha. Then, so how it becomes ridiculous, to pray for those, uh, these grahas. They cannot do anything for a devotee. Huh? So, and if you say this karma is the cause of my happiness and distress, what is the use for the Atma? Because very important point is telling. That object which has the both, inert as well as consciousness, if it is mixed with those two qualities together, inert and consciousness, so for that karma is possible, activity is possible, isn't it? If something is inert, you think some activity will be there, karma will be there? No. Right? If purely Chetana Vastu, there is no karma. So karma should be there when both are there. Huh? But the body is only inert, and then Atma is only conscious entity. Only. So, because it is jada, meaning inert, the transformation is possible. So, in the inert body, there is no chetana, consciousness. So that aspect is not possible. And the chetana atma, conscious atma, so is separate from this body and also the planets. So that's why for both this body and for atma, so karma cannot be cause of suffering or happiness. Now the kala, time, right? Time factor. If somebody argues that time is the, my time is very bad time now. you know, Pray good time. You remember people say that. Actually, that's not true. Saying, but if you say time factor is the cause of my, suffering and happiness, huh? He analyzes. Kala, what is kala? Is is part of Brahma's, Supreme Lord, Amsha Bhuta. Part of it. through which he influences things, he controls, he influences, right? Kala, through kala, time. So, and the Atma is also related to the Lord, is Vibhinamsha, right? Kala is also part of Supreme Lord, controlling things. And Atma is also Vibhinamsha of the Lord. So, the Kala, the time factor cannot influence the Atma, right? Cannot influence, cannot bring any happiness or distress. That's why in the spiritual world, the time cannot influence anything, you know. That's why present time there, present. Whereas here, that present time as appearing as past and future. But it is like mind, it is moving fast, you know, causing distress, deterioration, everything. Uh, so time I am, Krishna says, destroyer of everything. Kala. So that Kala cannot be cause of happiness or distress for the Atma. So, but conditional in the state, condition state, that influence of time is there. So sometimes happiness, sometimes distress. And it is happening because of the ignorance. But there is no connection with the Atma. That's why he says, Yetam sa astaya paramatma nishta madhyasitam purvatamai maharshibihi aham tarishyami duranta param tamo mukundangri nishevayaiva. Oh, this is the prayer. Please remember this prayer, this Bhagavatam sloka. That's why the ancient rishis, the sages, attaining the great faith in Paramatma, Bhagavan, taking shelter at him, Sri Krishna, by doing service at his lotus feet of Sri Krishna, and they were able to cross over this form of ignorance, this samsara, you know, ocean of samsara, ignorance. They crossed over many, many great sages in the past by doing service at the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. Same way, uh, by serving at the lotus feet of Krishna, I also this ignorance and darkness of ignorance, darkness of ignorance of this samsara sagara, ocean of samsara. uh, For sure, I will also cross over. So this is very amazing because he analyzes these six factors that they are not the cause of my suffering or happiness. That way becomes strong. When we give up, these other human people, they are not cause of my. So many, if you are very clear and one pointed, then many things will clear us, make us strong. Not the devatas, demigod, not my atma. Yes. And then not the karma or the time factor, or the grahas, planetary system. Once we have become a very strong, then we easily achieve one-pointed service to Krishna. Oh, these are not. They cannot influence our Atma, cannot touch Atma. Then why we worry about it? Then why find fault in others? Oh, this, that. So our energy is, is saved. Otherwise, so much energy goes in blaming others, finding fault in others. These are all sources. So that way, everything will become favorable to us. When we realize these six things, other human beings, demigods, uh, then the the planetary systems, the karma, the time. So these are not cause of my suffering or happiness. So karma or time. So it makes you very powerful. So we should remember, when something comes, you remember this pastime. How this Brahmana was being treated so badly, I will tell you. But because of his some past sukriti, remember these things. And by Krishna's mercy, this pastime, Krishna himself telling Uddhava. So, all glories to Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto. Very important for sadhakas. So many things Krishna is revealing to Uddhava. And he says in one place, uh, because I cannot, uh, control myself, next authority. Yes. He's saying, I am Isarva Kalpanam Tadrichino Mato Mama Madbhavaha Sarvabhutesha Mano Vakyaya Vrittibihi. Whatever, so many paths are there for the jnani. Among all these, this path uh, is you have to see in all your activities, in your thinking, in your words, in all living entities, you take darshan of Paramatma. I'm staying there as Paramatma. This Nishkama Dharma, by practicing it, uh, this will not get destroyed, even a drop of it. This Bhakti Dharma, by even a little beginning in this Bhakti, uh, even there is some faults in it, uh, something broken. It is compared to other religious practice, it will not get destroyed, it will not go waste. Because this bhakti, why is that? He is telling. Because this bhakti is beyond the modes of material nature. Because the bhakti is beyond the modes of material nature. It will not get destroyed. Huh? I protect it myself. So, and even a little bit progress in bhakti, huh? The bhakti, so auspicious. So Krishna is telling Uddhava, huh? So Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam ki jai jai jai. Jai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. So, our time for questions. Any questions? Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namaha. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Gurudev ki jai. Upada Padma ki jai. On this past Kamada Ekasi day, a devotee had a dream at night that a Maharaja had initiated this person in a dream chanting some Vedic mantra. But there is no fire sacrifice nor the scene seem very formal. Does it still count as initiation? Now, does it still count as initiation? Is it still necessary to get an initiation from the same Maharaja in real life? What would you recommend the devotee do in this case? Um, it depends on the faith that we have. Um, so, Diksha meaning the divya, the uh, knowledge, uh, transcendental knowledge of sambandha. Uh, Cha meaning mm, taking away the anartha. Both as together. See, if there is a darkness, like in the morning time, see when before sunrise, what happens? Sunrise has not happened. But gradually, as the sun is about to come up, the darkness is disappeared, isn't it? Both is happening same time. Sun not yet come, but is before he appears, the darkness disappearing. And sun comes up, of course, it's all gone. Gone meaning it will be there wherever it is, but it cannot influence the presence of light. So same way that sambandha jnana, and then moving away, uh, taking away this ajnana andhakara. It cannot destroy it. Keep it like Prahalad Maharaj. Does. So depends on that faith. And Guru is one. You should not think that this Guru is different, that Guru is different. Like you are remembering in this past time, the um, Paramatma is one, but he appears in all arts of living entities and all in the atom. Nanda is one. So, like that, uh, Supreme Lord out of compassion, he himself appeared as a Krishna. So he is the one. uh, So if you have faith in that, then it can be considered as uh, Diksha. Even though later on you might need to take that it's uh, formalized, if you like. Uh, uh, but now we continue in this, you know, uh, chanting and following Ekadasi. And gradually Krishna will reveal, what needs to be done. One needs to be sincere. Like in this pastime, you know, not finding fault in 6 things. What is that? Oh, any human beings, they are not cause of my suffering or happiness. Then demigods, right? Demigods, devata, or the planets, or the karma, time factor, and the atma. huh? So if you are very solidly situated in that, Krishna will guide. He is the inner dwelling. He is the witness all these activities. Even though it's a dream, but actually Krishna is witnessing. If Krishna is making it happen. Um, Paramatma in the Kanta, is the cause of this dream. huh? So our say continue doing your sadhana. huh? And that relation becomes stronger. There is one pastime where uh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu uh, in Maharashtra, um, Maharashtra, there are so many great saintly people. Namdev, Tukaram, you Tukaram. And there's one tradition, they believe like that. He came and then he gave the Nam. But then he wanted to serve him, then he disappeared. You know? Ramakrishna Hare, like that. So now they follow that system. But by sadhana, it will become very clear. So Kamada Ekadasi is also Kamada. If you have any desires, it will be fulfilled. So it may be this desire also. If you have done properly Ekadasi, then that Ekadasi will also fulfill your desire. Your, by the mercy of Ekadasi, everything is possible. Ekadasi is very, very powerful. It should be done properly. Amazing. One will get the blessing of Ekadasi. Then Bhakti journey, will definitely progress in Bhakti. Should be done properly. It, attention and care. Uh, So, any other question? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. What are some books you would recommend for bhakti beginners if we just finished Srila Gurudev's Bhagavad Gita? Would the below list and sequence work? We were also thinking of reading Brihad Bhagavatam, but we only saw Canto 2, Volume 1 from Pure Bhakti website. Is it not available in English? Upadeshamrita, Nectar of Instruction, Jaiva Dharma, Madhurya Kala, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. These five books actually um, is amazing, is enough. And the Brihad Bhagavatamritam is also important, essential. Even though he got Canto 2, Volume 1. Other one, they are trying to put it out. Some editing, something is going on. But otherwise, you will hear some other, like Gurudev himself, giving you some lectures on the Brihad Bhagavatamrita. First canto, you can find. So if you read that, that will, if you listen to that or read, that is suffice. Bhagavad Bhagavatamritam is Sanatana Goswami's contribution. Very important. It is not available to any other, like Bhagavatam is there for other sampradayas. But Bhagavad Bhagavatamritam is exclusively for Gaudiya Vaishnava. So it's a speciality, very special essence of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Parikshit Maharaj narrating the essence of Bhagavatam to his mother, Uttara. After Sukadeva Goswami narrating Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj, blessed him and then he disappeared. Went away. So remaining time before Takshaka came to, before beating him, during that time left, Uttara is telling, oh my son, you are fortunate you heard from pure devotee Sukadeva Goswami. I'm a lady, I cannot understand. It's a long 7 days long. And you did not sleep, you did not take any water, you did not go to bathroom, no toilet, neither Sukadeva Goswami. He was continuously narrating and he was continuously hearing. Nothing of this world disturbed you, but I'm not like that. So please narrate me. No. So that was the determination. I can imagine the concentration. That Bhagavatam, power of Bhagavatam was so powerful. And then with the same enthusiasm, when completely heard, it was no fear at all. See, of course, his Parikshit Maharaj was um, liberated already. Uh, Even though he's in this body, he was liberated. So there was no fear that, oh, a snake will come and bit me. Like in this past time, this Brahmana, Avanti Brahmana, thinking that I'm this Chetana Rupa Atma, nothing is going to touch me. So, so is liberated while in this. Huh? So he is very happily reciting to his mother. Because as long as he was reciting, no power in this world can affect. So like that. And then, of course, our Gurudev, whenever he went, he was telling Upadeshamrita. You know, first thing is we follow basic principles of Upadeshamrita, nectar of instruction. You know, our middle path, you know, controlling the middle path. You know, Vacha Vegam, Manasa Vegam. So these six um, Vegas, you know, urges, six urges. Then, of course, Jaiva Dharma is amazing. Jaiva Dharma itself is the essence of all Shastra. Like Param Gurudev, how he describes it. If you take the essence of all ocean, imagine ocean, what is the amount of water in ocean? So many jewelry things, everything is there in ocean. Right? And so essence of all that, put it in a bottle. Like that, so precious. Like that, there's so many shastras, ocean of shastras. You know, now so many shastras, we have heard some shastras, so many shastras we have not even heard. Whatever, looking at them or reading or hearing about them. Okay. Uh, Even Vedas, for example. That's why Srimad Bhagavatam, essence of all Vedas. And the Chatushloki Bhagavatam, if you recite Chatushloki Bhagavatam, it is equivalent to reciting 4 Vedas. You know, and it is equivalent to reciting, even can you recite Bhagavatam every day, 18,000 verses? Recite these 4 slokas is equivalent to reciting the entire Srimad Bhagavatam and also all the Vedas. Amazing. So you are reciting everything. So like that, the Jaiva Dharma is very, very amazing. There is no words to describe. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur brought it out. See, the scriptures are living things, okay? Don't think this is something, it is not a jada, no, it is living thing, personality. That's why before you read any scripture, you pray to him, oh personality of Upadeshamrita or Jaiva Dharma or Brihad Bhagavatamritam, please bestow your mercy on me. Please allow me to worship you. When we are reading, when we are hearing or reading, we are actually worshipping the scripture. So, if our strong faith, then it reveals itself. Otherwise, it can be, like ordinary reading, nothing will happen. Gurudev used to say, key is there. The key is with me, he says. Ah, you might have the book, but the key is with me. Unless I let you in, you cannot grasp me. Huh? So something like that. So that's why the sincerity, praying to the Guru Varga, and the Veda Vyas, Sukdev Goswami, Parikshit Maharaj, you remember, um, Narayanam Namaskrityam Naranchaiva Uttama. Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jire. Tato Jayam Udiraye. So we pray all these personalities. And all the Sapta Panchakas, Guru Varga, Krishna Panchaka, you know, Panchatattva Panchaka, Kumara Panchaka, Acharya Panchaka, Guru Panchaka, all these personalities, we are grateful to them. By their mercy, Vyasa Panchaka, remember? So by the mercy of the Vyasa Panchaka, we can get in and then be blessed the understanding this Veda. Madhuri Kadambani is very Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur. You know, he is like a doctor, bhakti doctor. You remember, when you go to a doctor, he will diagnose, right? How he diagnoses in the Vedic tradition, he uses the nadi, right? Nadi, both nadi, tongue, eyes. You know, of course, the Western doctor uses the sound of the heart, lung. You know, like that. But this is also like a nadi, but it's a crude. Okay. Uh, Sometimes they put your stethoscope on here also, you know. So some characteristics, some so diagnosis, you know. Like that, Madhurya Kadambini is a diagnosis of bhakti, where we are. Adau Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti. What kinds of, you know, contamination we have from many, many lifetimes. Description of those contaminations. And when we start doing sadhana, it starts coming out. See, it's like when you start washing the pot, the dirt is going to come out, is it not? No, dirt is coming, I will not wash it, you say. So dirt is going to come out. That's why when you start doing this sadhana, chanting or doing ekadasi, it starts cleansing. Cleansing meaning getting rid of this unwanted thing. Comes out. Wow, you'll be amazed. Wow. So much garbage in me. Ah, so, oh, it is worse than before. You don't feel like that, but actually, what is coming out, get relieved. Wow, I did not know so much garbage in me, so much dirt coming like that. So he describes Vishnu Chakravarti, what kind of, uh, how to recognize which stage of bhakti we are. Kindergarten, UKG, LKG, first standard, second standard, like that. High school, college, PhD level, like that, bhakti, he is describing. Very amazingly. Um, so we are grateful to Chakravarti Thakur. Is an aspect, or Acharya say is an aspect of Rupa Goswami himself. So expansion of Updeshamrita, you can say, going into nuts and bolts, Updeshamrita. Srimad Bhagavatam, of course, is spotless. And 11th canto, especially for sadhaka. 11th canto is very, very important. Of course, we read Krishna's pastimes and we are all very happy. But how to practice is very nice. Aradhya Bhagavan Rajesha Tanayasta Dhamma Vrindavan. Aradhya Bhagavan. See, for us, worshipable is Rajesha Tanayasta, Nandanandan, Yashodanandan. Same way Vrindavan is worshipped. So Srimad Bhagavatam is also is form of Krishna himself. First canto 2 feet, like that, up to the 12th. 10th canto is face, 11th is forehead, and the 12th is there. Like that, the entire Bhagavatam, 12th canto, is form of Krishna himself, not different from him. So when Krishna disappeared into his dham, holy dham, along his descendant Dharma, Jnana, then there was fully, this whole place was darkness. So then Srimad Bhagavatam appeared. Sukadeva Goswami brought this up. So Sukadeva he has heard it, he has seen it, he has seen Bhagavatam. And that's why he was the right person to bring it up. Bhagavatam is also eternal, just like Krishna. All these scriptures, Madhuri Kadamani, Jaiva Dharma, these are all eternal. No one can destroy or no one can produce it. Okay, you understand? So some great Vaishnavas became to bring it out again. See, they become instruments in bringing it out. But they were there. You can see in Chaitanya, like Nityananda Prabhu telling Jiva Goswami, a time will come when need of writing commentary, like Govinda Pasha, need arises and it will happen. Now there is no need of it. Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam is the natural commentary on the Vedanta Sutras, natural comment. Vedavyas himself wrote. That's why the Vedanta Sutra and the commentary is done by Vedavyas himself. Vedanta Sutra first and then Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam. So it's a natural commentary. So sometimes when an Acharya writes commentary on the Vedanta Sutra, and then on the comment, the explanation of that commentary is called Anu Bhashya. Bhakti, like Madhvacharya also did it. So that others will not come and interpret him again. He himself wrote a commentary and then interpreted. So there is no need of interpretation. Otherwise, someone will come, no, he didn't mean this way, he didn't mean this way. There is no room for that. So same way, Baladev Vidyabhushan also, he wrote a commentary on it. He was instrument in bringing it out. That's why we name it as Govinda Bhasha. Lord Govinda himself spoke. And he made a commentary on that, Anubhasha. So nobody can mess with it. Otherwise, time will come, oh, I can do this, I can do that. I and mine, it will destroy. So it's no longer pure. You become an instrument. Like Chaitanya Charitamrita. See, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj, how old he was, very elderly, and was shaking, like this. How he can write? But still, what a no comparison to Chaitanya Charitamrita. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, if Bhagavad Gita disappears, no problem. Bhagavatam no, but Chaitanya Charitamrita is there, then no problem. That means everything is there, intact. So, in Krishnadas Kaviraj, that very elderly state age, he become an instrument, perfection, beyond perfection. It cannot be more perfect than Chaitanya Charitamrita. But Radharani herself certified that way. You know. So we are very, 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 very fortunate to even hear these scriptures. Forget about going through. You know. But on the other hand, all these scriptures are same. You know, different revelation way of looking at it. But eventually they are telling bhakti, Shuddha bhakti, the lotus feet of Yugal Kishore. And we have to give up the mentality of enjoying, like Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's Upadeshamrita, the question and answer. That is also living tradition, living. But the way he has answered, keeps us away from this enjoying tendency. Like in this pastime, main thing is the mind. Okay, our what he is saying. Only through mind we can hear and listen. And also the form of the mind is what? Bhoga Vriddhi Rupa. Mind is Bhoga Vriddhi. Bhoga Buddhi. Enjoying tendency. And it is the seat of all inauspiciousness. see, see, in one hand, the Atma pure. Okay? Atma is pure on one hand. On the other hand, the mind is also there. The seat of all inauspiciousness. See, both are there. So, how to organize, how to recognize? So, if you do not have a strength, guidance of your devotee who has realized this, you know, then you cannot, will be blown away because mind is very powerful. It will drag you. And then we start saying I and mine. You know. Oh, this body identification. And they connected with this body. Oh, this is mine. Then you'll be in a samsara bandhana. That's why this all these aspects are. And Krishna, like we were telling before, Krishna will not mess with the mind because he has given us minute independence. So we have to choose. Krishna, enough is enough. I have suffered. Please pick me up. Oh Gurudev, please pick me up. Give me direction. Bhagavad Gita, See, Bhagavad Gita is foundation. See, without going through Bhagavad Gita, we cannot go anywhere. Foundation. To the extent our foundation is strong, to that extent, whatever is built on that will be strong. So, Bhagavad Gita. मन्मनो भक्तो मध्यजी माम नमस्ते मामेव विशति सत्यम ते प्रतिजानो प्रियोसि मे अहं सर्वस्य प्रभवो मतः सर्वं प्रवर्तते इति मत्वा भजन्ते मां बुधभाव समन्विता एकं शास्त्रं देवकी पुत्र गीतम् एको देवो देवकी पुत्र एव एको मन्त्रस्तस्य नामानि यानि कर्म्याप्यम् एकं तस्य देवस्य सेवा Gita Upanishad, simplified. There is only one Shastra, that is the Devaki Gita. Ekam Shastram, Devaki Putra Gita. Devaki, son of Devaki. Devaki is another name for Yashoda. Putra Gita. The song that he told came out of son of Yashoda. That is Gita. That is Shastra, one and only Shastra. See, these other Shastras, there are different stages of life. Like one may be flower, little thing, and then ripened, fully ripened. Bhagavatam, like that. So, foundation, Bhagavad. Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra. Eko Deva Devaki Putra. There is only one God. That is son of Yashoda. Putra. Eko Mantra Sasya Namanya. There is only one mantra, that is the names of him. That's son of Karmyapyam Ekam Tasya Devasya. Karma, the activity, is also one. What is karma? Karma ekam tasya devasya. Service to the Lord, service to Nandanandan, Yashodanandan is actually karma. Oh, everything is summarized in this. So if we are doing service to ourselves, see, then it will bind us. So this whole scripture telling us, guiding us, how to get untangled. See, the two things. Right now we are entangled with this material world. Okay. But how to unentangle and then entangle with the spiritual world. Quantum mechanics is a big thing. Entanglement, So it's amazing, Radha Krishna are entangled in one sense, greatest entanglement. So if we also get entangled in that service to them, okay. So that entanglement as a service to the ego, we become unentangled from this material world. Makes our life blissful. Otherwise, we have to suffer because of the misidentification of what? Oh, this human being, cause of my suffering and happiness. Devatas are cause of my happiness and suffering. Then demigod. Then the planets. Then my karma. Then the time factor. Then Atma. We we blame it on others. Actually, we don't need to blame on anybody. It's our uncontrolled mind. You remember Prahlad's pastime? No? See, this reminds uh, Prahlad's pastime. What is Prahlad says is, he is telling his father, in former times there were many fools like you who did not conquer the six enemies that steal away the wealth of the body. These fools were very proud, thinking, I have conquered all enemies in all 10 directions. But if a person is victorious uh, over the six enemies and is equipped towards all living entities, for him there are no enemies. Enemies are merely imagined by one in ignorance. But see, do you see the what Prahlad Maharaj is saying and what enemies are merely imagined by one in ignorance. He can conquer all people like Hiranyakashipu, but he could not conquer the six enemies. So, please give up your demoniac mentality. Do not discriminate in your heart between enemies and friends. Make your mind equipoised toward everyone, except uncontrolled mind and misguided mind. Huh? There is no enemy within. Huh? There is no enemy within this world. Uncontrolled and misguided mind. When one sees everyone on the platform of equality, one then comes to the position of worshipping the Lord perfectly. See, this is what Krishna is telling, 11th canto. When one sees everyone on the platform of equality, one then comes to the position of worshipping the Lord perfectly. So, Prahlad Maharaj, telling this, how appropriate it is, what we are saying. So, that's why all glories to Prahlad Maharaj, all glories to Srimad Bhagavatam, all glories to Deshamrita, all glories to Jaiva Dharma, all glories to Prabhupada Bhagavatamritam, Chaitanya Charitamritam, Ki Jai Jai Jai. All glories to Gurudev, Panaga Guru Varga, all glories, and all devotees. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Dandavad pranam to everyone. Hare Krishna.